Hey, how's everybody doing? I want to thank everybody for helping me meet the last goal. The current goal is for 25 subscribers. We are slowly, microscopically inching our way there. If you want to help out, hit that subscribe button. It literally does not cost you a thing to be a decent person. Hit that like button. And the subject for today is going to be, again, something that's going around the social media. There are people that do not understand why they are not being held accountable for voting Republican. And I just want to spend some time talking about it. And maybe it'll reach them and it'll help them out, or at least let them understand where people are. And for those of us on the left, take a look at it. Stay till the end, because you may find another way to look at this. You may find another way to explain to a friend, a coworker, or a family member why society is viewing them this way. Okay, a lot of people I don't think realize this, but some of them will know part of this. Maybe not everybody will know everything. At least I hope not. I hope I'm helping out some people in some way, shape, or form who watch this. But we had black soldiers. These were people who were welcomed. They were treated with respect when they fought in Europe for our country in the World War II. And when they came home, some of them were lynched and hung in uniform. And Harry Truman, who was our president at the time, he's a guy who grew up in the KKK in Missouri. I did not know that when I was watching a movie on him and they brought it up. He was basically raised in the KKK. And as a soldier who fought in World War One, he told people, he goes, "Look, I was in the KKK, but these boys are wearing our uniform. They fought for our country. They do not deserve this." And that's when he decided to take action. That was something that people did not know back then. This here is like a lunch sit-in counter at Woolworths back from before the civil rights. This is what led up to it. And I think some people know, the younger people might not. And the Republicans, they're doing what they can to make sure this stuff is not taught in school. They want stuff that might make white people feel bad for what white people did wrong in history. They want that removed from the classrooms. And I got into a discussion on something else. It was the same kind of thing. I think it had our founding fathers, and it was a while ago. But somebody wanted to know, well, why do we have to tell people that? And I told them, I go, only stupid people are afraid of the truth. And I firmly believe, I think it's more important now than it was back then. And you look at, somebody made the comment, they wanted to know when, and it was a Republican, and I can't remember the guy's name. Morning Joe quoted the guy, and he wanted to know when his party, the Republican Party, became the party of stupid. And that goes with what I'm saying here. Uh, the only way the Republican Party survives as it is if we allow alternate facts or lies to be held up as equal to the other side. And the media has a large part to play in this. And they are getting better, but they still make a lot of mistakes. And politicians do. Anybody that's elected to be a leader in Washington should be putting truth first and foremost. And we've got a party of Republicans, the vast majority of them are putting staying in power as more important than the truth. Uh, you can see it. They got rid of Liz Cheney because she told the truth. They got rid of a couple other people. They some of them retired, some of them got voted out. But it's a war on the truth, because they know that in the light of truth, their shit can't. They just can't exist. It can't persist anymore. It'll be gone. And if you go back now and you look at the history of that time period, all the people who were supporting that line at the time, everybody that was voting for people that supported that, they're all viewed in the same way. They're all viewed in much the same light as the people that did it. It did not matter whether they were involved in it or not, they enabled it. They were allowing it to happen. And that needs to be pointed out to the Republicans, that we as a society cannot tolerate what is going on. We just can't. We have to let them know that whether you support this actively or you just vote for the party that does, it doesn't matter. They have to understand that it just doesn't fucking matter. It just doesn't matter. If you are someone that votes Republican, if you are out there raising money, if you are out there donating for these Republicans, if you vote for them, if you have their sign in your yard, you're going to be viewed as supporting this going forward. Jim Jordan, in my opinion, should have been thrown out a long time ago. This is a guy that when they are trying to get to the bottom of serious matters, he disrupts it. He attacks it. He called for the lie. He basically helped create the issue that was going on. And, if we lived in a righteous world, he would have been thrown out on his ass. Miss Green here, I believe she is one of the ones who had her committee assignment stripped. That was all the Democrats could do if we lived in a good world because of her anti-American views. In my opinion, the Republicans would have, if the Republican Party was a party that was worth voting for, they would have removed her from office. They would have thrown her out on her ass. And they didn't do it. She's still in there. She belongs, in my opinion, on a terrorist watch list, not in the highest political venue for legislators in our country. She doesn't belong there. I'm not sure, but to the best of my recollection, she has been removed from her committee assignments. And again, for what she did, that's all the Democrats could do. It's all they had the votes for. But she is someone that, in my opinion, should have been, again, if the Republican Party, if the people in it want to be supported, if they don't want to be called, what they've been called, if they don't want to be lumped in with that, then they need to basically remove her from office and remove everybody else like her. This here is Representative Loudermilk. He's one of the guys that was pointed out as giving, and there's more. He's not the only one. But he was caught giving these recon tours so people actually knew where the private offices were of some of the Democrats, putting their lives at risk. He should have been removed from office. I mean, they're sitting there holding their dicks, waiting. This is a guy that should be removed from office. Here's him giving the tour. And they were taking pictures of places that generally are not on the tour. They're not of interest. These things are of interest if you're trying to come in and kill people who work at the Capitol. And this is the thing people need to understand. As long as your party is like this, you're going to be viewed a certain way. There's just no way you can get around. If you have their yard signs the Republican Party, I really think, is beyond saving at this point. And the people have to understand, if you are going to vote for these people, and you can say all you want that you're doing it for tax cuts or for whatever other bullshit, but you're still enabling a domestic terrorist group. And this is something that needs to be pointed out to people, that this is where you're going to be at. And if you don't want to be called a fascist, if you don't want to be called a terrorist, if you don't want to be called a cult member, like Bill Maher said, you got to meet us halfway and you got to quit acting like one. You got to quit voting for them. It's not just enough that you say you're not with them. You actually have to quit enabling them. If you have any questions, you got any comments, leave them down below. If you got any suggestions for upcoming topics, please do it. And I just want to thank everybody that's helping me out. If you really want to help out the channel, again, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and I hope everybody has a great day.